What's happening, guys? Welcome back to Hustle Smart. We hope everyone's well.
What's going on, people?
Yeah, man. Right now, it's a bit crazy out in the world.
Mm.
Seeing so much going on right now. It's a bit mad. It's actually quite a lot to digest. How you been keeping, bro?
Um, Bro, I'm just lost for words at what's happening, what I'm seeing on the news. Do you know what I mean? Like a mixture of emotions, to be honest, like angry, upset, confused. Do you know what I mean? Like I still, I just can't fathom, how people can still be racist, like especially in like such a cosmopolitan society. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's a bit crazy because there's been like years of like suppression and like we've kind of normalized living in a racist society to a sense,
Yeah,
and now
yeah,
that like no one's standing for it no more, which is what I love. Like now that everyone's kind of, I, obviously the death of George Floyd, may so rest in peace, kind of amplified and accelerated, was like a catalyst to this protest, to like everyone kind of standing up, saying like no justice, no peace, that we're
mm.
not gonna stand for it no more. And I feel like that's some to a sense like some white people over here don't understand that that's why we're here protesting as well. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot
Mm.
of people seen it as like it happened in the other side of the world, so why they protest over here? But like they're so used to and being so kind of naive to the fact that there is a huge amount of racism over here in the UK as well.
I just think like it's obviously partly due to their ignorance as well,
Yeah,
right? Like
sure.
they've they've gone through life not being stereotyped,
Yeah,
haven't had any prejudice against them. Do you know what I'm saying?
sure.
Um, so I get why white people can be confused, but they just need to take a step back, look at what's happened, look at what's been happening over the past like 400 years,
Yeah,
and just really put things into perspective and just use this time to actually educate themselves
for
and
sure.
speak to their black counterpart or their counterpart who is not of color, because though black people face a lot of prejudice, you know other people of color still face some prejudice as well. So if they don't have access to a black person,
Yeah.
they speak to someone else who's of color. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But like um obviously with the whole Blackout Tuesday thing happening and kind of the protests and stuff, like obviously companies have been issuing out statements. So for example, I know like Activision on Call of Duty, they released like a statement basically saying like we don't condone like what's happening in America, like we stand for like Black Lives Matter and all that stuff. Obviously companies are making statements, and obviously even my company made a statement. Um, and obviously that
Did they
kind
make
of,
a statement internally as well?
yeah, it was internal, like internal email communication, and it just obviously just saying what they stand for. And
Mhm.
obviously like I thought, like, me already, fam. I'm confident and I'll do whatever I want,
Yeah,
fam.
yeah, yeah.
Obviously man must have emailed to that email. I emailed two directors and the CEO, and I was like, yeah, cool, like this is you lot stance, but I was like, what are you like doing tangibly,
Yeah, for sure.
um like to obviously show that you know that we don't condone any racial racism or prejudice.
Yeah,
And obviously, I think it's fair to say that no company has the right answer.
yeah, for
It's
sure.
not a one size fits all, but I think it's just about educating people. So
Yeah,
obviously, one of the directors called me and was like, "What do you think that we should do?" I was like, "Look, you can do X, Y, Z to support America, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, this stuff happens here.
Yeah.
And I just put it into perspective. So I said, for example, right, you have a young, like a young black boy who has aspirations, but then there comes a point in his life where he has to make a choice. He can go left and go down the illegal route, or he can go right and go down the legal route, right? So I said, like, imagine he chooses to go down the legal route to work. Let's say, for example, to work in financial services. There's these preconceived ideas that, okay, he's not going to get the same opportunities as his white counterpart. He's going to be he's going to be subject to unconscious biases,
Yeah.
right? And he's going to be stereotyped in the workplace. He's going to have to change his behavior in the workplace. Those are like some of the preconceived ideas that young black people have of the financial sector. So I said, what we need to do as an organization is work to debunk those myths. You lot
I
are
would say
saying
they're myths though.
they're not myths, but not everyone. Sorry, not myths. Sorry, debunk those ideologies. Let me
Mm.
rephrase that: debunk those ideologies, because obviously, that fam, if you have an organization of 1,000 people, there's bound to be like 5 people that are racist. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's just is what it is. But I was like, if we can actually work on as an organization to debunk those ideologies and actually show that we don't actually stand for racism, that's what's actually making the impact.
Yeah.
And I was essentially like, like these people are, you know, are the future. You know what I'm saying? So it needs to happen. So it just kind of got me thinking in terms of like, what can we just do just as individuals, as
Yeah.
organizations, as businesses to obviously just make tangible steps to, completely eradicate racism. And obviously, as I said, it's not a one size fits all. Do you know what I mean? But I
Sure.
just think obviously ripples create waves, isn't it? So if everyone does their part, then
Yeah, exactly that. And it's interesting to say as well, because I've seen so many brands kind of say, we're standing by the right side, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're standing showing solidarity. But like the whole pull up or shut up challenge is what I really love. I love the fact that we're holding brands accountable, we're asking them to show us how you are internally. And I feel like this is what really sparks change. So for me, for example, I work for a global company. We represent so many. Our customers are our community as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, so we serve this community. So we are kind of already ahead in making the world a bit more diverse and stuff like that. But in work conversations that we had over this week, like seeing how like distressed these guys are to hear about our experiences was kind of like this is something that is also coming out of it, seeing how like we're making people understand and be more empathetic to kind of like the black experience, whether it's black or African American experience or black British experience. There is a black experience that comes with the racism or with the prejudice or with the like unconscious bias and stuff like that. So it's been quite nice having these conversations with the higher up, saying how they can be more, how they can really make more change and how they can really make the world more equal, especially in the workforce as well. And I was speaking to my sister as well. Like we're super fortunate to be in companies that already know to make these kind of statements and to send these emails. But like in my sister's company, and I can't even say the name, but if I was to say the name, you'd be shocked. Someone said Black Lives Matter palaver. Like, do you know how insensitive that is? Like to just act.
that'll get me mad.
Do you know
That'll
what I
get
mean?
me
So
mad.
and
Yeah.
and because my sister's just like you, she's very confident as well.
Mm.
Someone might not say nothing about it, but I feel like everything that's going on now is also our time for us to hold people accountable, to show people like you can't say that. Don't say palaver like this is just a thing or a fad, or do you know what I mean? Like you actually have like, so she sent a long email saying, listen, I felt highly disrespected. You guys haven't said anything internally. You guys are not taking this issue seriously. For you to have black employees and not to check in on them is kind of like discouraging, disrespectful in a sense as well. And like you said, when you're speaking to these directors, they have to take these things on board as well, because too many years of being suppressed and not really saying anything about it. And I feel like this is one of the biggest changes as well. Like, if you are to see something in our workplace that is not right and is not doing us justice, we kind of got to speak about it as well. Like, there is so many layers to this. There's police brutality, there's the stop and searches, there's everything. But like you said, making individual changes in our own environments as well is super, super important. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I agree.
Yeah,
I
man.
agree. I think like a lot of these companies, right, they're all led by, you know, upper working, middle class, like upper class white people. Do you know what I'm saying? They haven't experienced, you know, some of the things that we've been through. So obviously they're panicking because they just don't know how to react.
Mm-hmm.
So what we need to do is have that open dialogue and speak, you know, to the black people in the organization and say, yo, like what's really up in it? Like what actually happens? How do you guys feel
Yeah,
in the organization? What can we do? But I think similarly, like we just need to have the balls to actually just be completely honest and transparent.
yeah,
Jump in. I think like obviously where people are like working in their companies, like oh this could potentially make me look bad. It could potentially like impact my job. I could get fired. I'm saying, but it's just not like I just encourage everyone to just not be apprehensive, not be scared, because like this is actually our reality. This is how we live.
yeah,
Don't be afraid to vocalize that.
for sure.
This is something that I've personally observed. Do you know what I mean? It could be
Yeah.
different for
Yeah, and yeah, so with everything that's kind of going on right now, the whole momentum and everyone kind of taking being pro-black more serious now, there's kind of like, and this is what I wanted to say. Like we've been saying it, and this is like the whole reason why we started the podcast. But like, in some individuals get to a certain point, yeah, or get to a certain place in life where they've kind of done what they like, what everyone aspires to do. Like,
yeah,
not even make it out of the ends no more, but you're at a level of success now that everyone kind of aspires to be. And some people hold on to that information. They don't really want to share the blueprint. They don't really want to bring other people up as well. And I
mm,
feel like we need to really break that kind of mindset, and people really need to understand that even when we're saying pro-black, it's also giving back information, helping your community. Like us, for example, having a podcast where we have amazing people who have achieved great amounts of success coming to share their stories. Like,
mm,
other people, they can start podcasts, they can write blogs, they can mentor people as well. And I feel like that's a form of being for your people. Do you know what I mean? It's not just Instagram posts, it's actually how you are as an individual, whether you bring people up or do you know what I'm saying? So I feel
yeah.
like that's something that a lot of people really have to adopt as well.
I think the reason why people don't do that, yeah, is because they're emotional about the information that they've gained. So in a sense where if you have person A, right,
Hmm.
they've worked so hard, they've learned things off of trial and error. No one's told them, you know, what the blueprint is, and they make it.
Yeah.
They could potentially be envious of the person who wants to have that next come up. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it's just like, okay, it wasn't as smooth for me, so why should it be smooth for you? It's like
Yeah.
kind of earning your stripes.
Yeah.
And again, we need to just eradicate that ideology and just
Yeah. It's
actually
it
go
also
on.
comes from that, like I say all the time, having an abundance mindset, knowing that there's more than enough for everyone. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone can win. Like,
Yeah.
someone else's success doesn't take nothing from yours as well. Because a lot
Mm.
of people really hold on to this kind of ideology that we're saying, where people, they just kind of don't want to share the information. They think someone else has to hustle as hard as they did. Do you know what I mean? But it's also like, why do you care that much? Like, why are you, at the end of the day, when you die, you're leaving that information with you. Do you know what I mean? So it's important for you to put it out to help someone else. Do you know what I mean? Because you see people like you and you see the position they're in, and if you know you can help them get to a better position, like,
Yeah.
what's stopping you? What's holding you back? Do you know what I mean?
Thing is, I don't know why people feel like that. Because if you kind of even take like just generations, right?
Hmm.
So let's say, for example, my parents, right? They struggled, but obviously they worked hard to ensure that their children has a smoother ride, right?
Yeah, for sure.
My parents, they've struggled, but they worked so hard to make sure I have a smoother ride, and
Hmm.
obviously so on and so forth. So it's just like cool. If you can, we should just basically apply that same rhetoric
Yeah,
to our community. But
yeah,
what I'm saying is, like, obviously, just to backtrack a bit, yeah. Being pro-black, I know a lot of people think this, right? A lot of people who aren't black, being pro-black doesn't mean that
anti-white.
everyone else you're anti like anti-white or anti everyone else. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Being pro-black basically means that okay, everyone's inclusive, right?
Hmm.
And you show love to everyone, but you support your own and people, and you pay special attention to supporting your own people who look like you, people who walk like you, people who talk like you. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been oppressed for so long. I
Yeah.
just want to just make that very, very clear because a lot of people think being pro-black means you're anti-white, you're anti this, you're anti that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let me go back to our point because I'm off on a tangent. We need to apply that same rhetoric. And I was having this discussion with my boys, right? If you look at um Asians, if you look at the Jews, fam, they stick together, fam. Money circulates within their community. We need to be adopting those principles. That's one of the only ways, one of the ways in which we'll, you know, be uplifted, be empowered. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's my personal take on it. You know what I mean?
No, I get you, and I've seen a lot of talks about rebuilding the Black Wall Street. So for those who don't know,
Yeah,
in Tulsa, Massachusetts, I think 1928 or so, there was like a kind of neighborhood where there was I can't remember. I should let me get off the facts. So there was about 60 restaurants. Mm, let me to cut this down because I want to educate. I think I like. Did you see? Do you know what I'm talking about? The Black Wall Street thing.
yeah. I know what you're talking about still.
Yeah, I see a picture of it, kind of educating us what it was like. Let me search it. Yeah, because I want to really educate them about this.
Also, Oklahoma.
Yeah. So yeah. So yeah. So yeah. So for those who don't know, Black Wall Street was a neighborhood where they had 600 businesses, 21 churches, 21 restaurants, 30 grocery stores, 6 private airplanes, a hospital, a bank, post office, law office, and a bus system. And this was all built in 13 years. So obviously, there was like there was a huge racial kind of situation that happened where it led to kind of it being blown down. There's a huge backstory towards I think someone got accused of stepping on a white woman's foot, and it just kind of spiraled into something much bigger, which led to the destruction of Black Wall Street. And a lot of people are talking about let's rebuild it, and
Mm-hmm.
this has been an ongoing topic as well. Just to let people know, a lot of people have been part of the whole pro-black movement, the whole bettering our community and society as well. But yeah, when it comes to building the Black Wall Street again, I also feel like it's important for us to, as a brand, it's all good for you to have like a black owned business, and black owned business does not mean just for black people. For example, we're a black owned podcast, but we're not just for the black community. It's for a whole tribe that is trying to better themselves. People who have similar mindsets, regardless of color, race, and kind of sexual orientation, all this kind of stuff. We don't really information is not discriminatory, but when it comes to kind of Black Wall Street and making sure we're investing in these black-owned businesses, I feel like black-owned businesses as well need to be giving back to the community, whether it's in forms of employing people who are black or whether it's giving back information to people who are like you, like we said, earlier on, when you make it out, you kind of give back that information, or whether it's in terms of initiatives you have to give back to your community as well. So I do feel like, because this is what we mean when we say money circulates in a community. When you give money to that community or to that business owner, you have to make sure it flows as well to the next person in that community, rather than you're giving money to a black-owned business and they're going to their suppliers that are like, do you know what I mean? So making sure in some form of way, those companies, those brands are also pushing the same narrative and initiatives as you are as well.
Well, quick question, right? You said obviously, and this is me playing devil's advocate here. You said employing people that are black, right? But what? I'm not sure. Question. Let's say you got a black guy, white guy. You know, if they're going for a job, yeah. But obviously, the white guy is much more. He's the best fit and more qualified. Should I employ the black guy because he's black and obviously bolster, the ideas of Black Wall Street and obviously bolster like black empowerment and solidarity, or should I employ the white man who can
So
get it done?
I get what you mean, and to be fair, bro, like really and truly, you can find anyone who can do a good job. So fair enough, there's positive discrimination, and this is all subjective. Like in this podcast, we never tell anyone what to do, but that was just an example I gave into how you can really build Black Wall Street. For example, I said initiatives like mentoring young black kids who have aspirations like you, or who want to achieve the same level of success you did, or even kind of having that kind of initiative where you're giving back to your black-owned charity or something like that. So, like in all honesty, everything now is the world should be out of merit. Do you know what I mean? Like if someone's good for a job, you employ them. So I'm not even saying employ someone due to their races, but also giving more opportunity to people like you, because people like you need those opportunities, because they might not be getting it from other organizations or bigger organizations. So that's kind of my answer. I can't really say yes or no, or I'll choose the white guy or I'll choose the black guy, because it's all down to subjective. And like I said, life should be out of merit, but sadly there's things like meritocracy or there's nepotism. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of how the world is. But in terms of building Black Wall Street, I just mean giving opportunities to people like you, building with people like you as well, and really adopting that abundance mindset that the more we can do together is the more we can achieve. And it doesn't take anything out of my pocket, but it puts more in my pocket and the pocket of my peoples as well. Do you know what I mean?
So on that point, right? So you think? So you're saying the solution for, how can I word this? Because basically what I'm trying to say is, right, obviously it's basically a solution for just to eradicate kind of just institutional racism and obviously just racism amongst individuals. But I don't know how to word it off the back of the Black Wall Street point.
Yeah, I get you. So really and truly, we don't really need to put off the back. So now that we've kind of built this momentum with the whole like Black Lives Matter, we're not standing for this no more. We're really trying to, like, bro, a revolution is going on like right before us. Do you know what I mean? Like I just saw in Bristol, they pulled down the statue of a racist a slave owner, a slave trader that is well known over in Bristol. So there is a revolution going on right in front of us. And now that we have this momentum, how do we really keep it going? Because this is not just a moment. This is really a movement. You know what I'm saying? So it all starts with yourself firstly, man. People need to be a vessel for change wherever they are, whatever company you are. Like you as an individual, how do you try to really push the betterment of your community? For example, you know how I said as soon as I kind of got to the company I started pitching for them to do a Black History Month. Do you know what I mean? So it's really trying to bring your people in. If you, like, for example, so I work in entertainment. They need people who they can kind of see to, or people who can run campaigns. I'm making sure I'm bringing in my people as well, because if I don't, someone else might not. Do you know what I mean? I'm more in touch with the culture on my side and those who are doing great stuff but might not be acknowledged yet by the bigger higher ups. So it's important for me to put those names forward. You know what I'm saying? If they're asking for someone who who needs to do a workshop, I'm making sure I'm bringing in people who look like me as well. At least put their name on the table so they're considered. You know what I mean? So it
Yeah.
starts with being a vessel of change, wanting better for your community as well. And then next thing
Go on.
is I think is education as well, man. It's important to educate yourself and to really to read things up, to question things, to really question your beliefs as well. I feel like nowadays there's a lot of groupthink and people are just kind of following whatever they see on the timeline or whatever they see on the Instagram feed. But it's important to educate yourself, like people listening to podcasts, reading literature, reading history, understanding what was going on, what Malcolm stood for, what Martin stood for, and how you can really be a vessel of change, how you can really help that movement as well. And also educating people who might not understand. So in my workplace, like I said, we've had a lot of uncomfortable conversations, but so much good has come out of it. By me sharing my experiences, by my colleagues sharing their experiences, my white counterparts are able to understand what it's like for like a black person. So I feel like now as well is the time for us to be more transparent, to actually educate them, to show them what the Black British experience is, so they're more understanding of it, more empathetic, and also trying to be a vessel of change as well in their way as well. Kind of like people saying using their white privilege or whatever we want to say it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, lastly, just to really make sure that we keep it going, like we say habits. It's important to build habits, and it's important to build habits so we don't really just do this as a one-off. Like when we say building habits, is committing to the cause. Whether it's you, like I don't know if you saw, but a friend of ours was saying he's gonna buy one product from a black-owned business every month. A habit like that, whether it's clothing, whether it's anything, you can really find all these things online, or whether it's mentoring young people that are like you, or whether it's there's this it's called a money pot. They're called Kwanda. We will attach the link. They have funds for the community, whether it's you funding someone with their mental health care, or in terms of the BYP, they were doing a movement for the NHS workers. So there's different things around, and how you can really form a habit from this is really committing to it. So whether it's a monthly donation, or whether it's monthly mentoring, these are ways you can really keep the momentum going, because this is not a moment, like I said, this is a movement, and it started way before us, but hopefully we're the generation to really make things much better for those to follow. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. And you touched on it is educating. So like one thing I try and do in my organization is just educate people that listen, though everyone might not look like you, like doesn't necessarily make them different.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't look at them and feel a type of way. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So kind of what I try and do is basically just change that narrative.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, I'm part of the BAME committee in my organization, right? And something that I do is basically organize like half days or full days, where we go into schools
Yeah.
in like underprivileged areas, and obviously just show them kind of what we do, and just say, look, like you control what you want to do. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's a mixture of people. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, a lot of the students that I talk to are kind of on the borderline of, making that choice.
Yeah.
And again, they have these ideas, just like, oh, like I ain't gonna make it there. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, cool. And I obviously just try and change that and say, listen, like the fact that you're different from each and every square that applies for these organizations, is a USP in itself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, what? And I'll just try and drive the message that, listen, like if you can, because you're so different, you're approaching with a complete different angle.
Yeah.
That no one's looking for the same boring routine solution or sort of person. You know what I'm saying? You got to stand out, and that's like the fact that you fit into this particular category.
Yeah.
Is excellent. You know what I'm saying? So
I definitely agree with that, man. I was saying that as well earlier. So obviously, working for such a huge global brand, like they kind of they don't want the same kind of people, and this is what happened because I feel like it's so important for us to touch on this. You get a huge amount of imposter syndrome, kind
Mhm.
of being a young black professional or young black creative, kind of feeling as if like, do I have a right to say this or what value do I bring and stuff like that. Like it's actually a lot to handle. But
Mm.
as I kind of got like as the months went on, as I was kind of working, I kind of understood that, and my manager is so honest and transparent with me, and she was like, "Listen, like I need to come out my shell more because the reason why they chose me was because of my personality. Like I should say things how I say things. I shouldn't try and use like their language. Do you know what I mean? Because they have their tone of voice and the way they say things. She's like, say
Yeah.
things how you want to say it. Like bring your people in. Like speak to us about what's going on in your world because that's what we
Mm.
want to hear and you're close to our consumers. Do you know what I mean? We need to kind of get that insights on what's going on in your world, what's important to you and to your people as well. So like it kind of made me more comfortable and kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but really understanding now that my kind of power, my, like you said, my USP, my value is who I am, being young, black, if they want to say urban. I know they're canceling the word now, but really being part of the culture, really being aware. All my life experiences that I've kind of gone through has built me up to who I am today, which is now what I'm able to bring to the table. Like even simple stuff like being able to talk to a diverse range of people, being able to be empathetic to understand other people's kind of experiences and like it's not just about my world because everyone's got their own world and their own perception of
Mm.
reality, and being able to accommodate that as well makes me a much better kind of, like I don't know, kind of colleague or whatever, employee or whatever. There's so much we can
Mm.
bring to the table just from our life experiences as well. So like
Right.
yeah, man, when speaking to these kids is important to, or even speaking to people our age is important to really encourage them to let them know that listen, on paper you're good and off paper as well you have a lot to bring to this table. It's just knowing how to package it because
Mm.
that's where a lot of people fall short. Like how do I show a brand that do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? This is what I'm able to bring to this table because of my life experiences. Do you know what I mean?
I think like I said it once and I'll say it again. Like if you're young, black, and you're good at your job, you got a personality and you can adapt to your environment. So not just only adapt to your environment, but bring an element of your own character into that environment.
Sure.
You're even more marketable. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you're even more
It's just
marketable.
knowing how to package it. That's where, like I
Yeah.
said, a lot of people fall short because, like you said, now is really our time with everything that's going on as well. Like it's really our time to really push what we are, what we're doing, like
Yeah.
why they need us because we're able to bring so much to the table. Even just our drive alone, from
Mm.
having to work 10 times as hard as anyone else. Like
Mm.
there's so much value we bring to the table. So it's super
Mm-hmm.
important we get rid of that imposter syndrome and kind of being holding ourselves back because we kind of feel as if we need to fit in or they won't like us if we're kind of outspoken. And of course, everyone's situation is different. I don't
Mm.
work in a big team. I work in a team of about, say, 20, 25 people. And if you're in more of a corporate environment, it might be a bit different.
When you
But
say 20, 25 people, is that like, for example, let's say if you was in the office, would that be the amount of people on your floor?
oh yeah, so basically we're a global brand, so we have a lot of Zoom calls already, like with like our Western Europe team, our US team, and stuff like that. But my floor is kind of divided into sales and marketing. So I'm in marketing, and
Mhm.
marketing is about 13 of us, so it's
Mm.
quite small. It's quite diverse as well, to be fair. Then we have the sales side as well, which is about 15 people. So in
Yeah.
total, about 28, 30 people on my floor as well. So I've actually never kind of worked for a big corporation where like there's different floors to the stuff. Mine is just one floor, but in
Yeah.
different, we have like Amsterdam branch, we have Paris, we have Italy, we have, do you know what I mean? So it is kind of big. There's a lot of people who I don't know as well.
No, so and even just off the back of what you're saying, I definitely think like, you know, as black people, we need to make the conscious effort to make that change. So for example, even if you strip it back to a referendum or even a general election.
Yeah.
Like, so many people that I spoke to, so many black people that I spoke to said, when I asked them, are you gonna vote? They're like, what's the point, man? So I mean, and it's just like each vote actually counts.
It really does. It really does.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's just like I think we need to just reinforce the message and the ideology that like your voice matters.
Yeah. I also feel like, so I'm kind of not two sides of it because each vote definitely counts, but I also feel like it's super important to have people who represent us in power as well. So I don't know if we need to push for more black MPs or need to support more black MPs who are running and not getting
100%.
the chance. For example, there was a young black girl who I actually know. She went to my sixth form. She's actually ran for a local MP as well.
Yeah,
Sadly, she did, yeah,
so she's doing that thing.
sadly, she didn't get it. But maybe like next time when she runs, hold up, hustle smart behind her and everyone else as well. But
Mm.
yeah, like so. Sadly, when it comes to it, we don't really have as many people kind of maybe representing us. So we also need to push for more kind of governors of schools and more local people as well who are really pushing for change as well and
Yeah.
use really flexing our voting power as well. So when it comes to voting, we're really seeing what kind of policies these parties have. Do you know what I mean? Because there's so many layers to it, man. If we talk about the US with the Democrats and the Republicans and
Mm.
the conservatives and the Labours as well, like who we naturally go for, but without really reading their policies and without really seeing
That's
what they
that's
stand
that's
for us.
that's the thing. That's something that not bothering, but it's just a bit like, fam, if you just done a bit of research, you'll actually be informed. Do you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
even when people were voting for either people vote, let's keep it real, people are even voting for Labour or Conservative, innit? Lib
yeah,
Dems, Green Party, they're all out of the running.
yeah,
Like when I asked them, okay, why are you voting for Labour? I was just like, because my people are Labour, innit? Like it's what it's basically it was the idea that it's what we're used to, innit?
yeah,
And I was like, okay, but by the way, I'm not sharing my own political views. This is just what I've observed, right?
yeah,
And when I ask you, okay, why are you voting Conservative? It's like, I don't know, I'm just voting, innit? And it's just like, fam, we actually need to take this time to educate ourselves about politics
It's so
because
important.
it's so important. It impacts so many things. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Exactly,
uh,
and
um,
even kind of as well, like writing letters to your MPs and stuff. Like my
mm,
sister as well wrote a letter to our local MP as well when we're talking about Black Lives Matter. She's inquiring like, what are you guys going to do? And this is what people don't understand when it comes to lobbying against something. When you really are trying to make a change, and this is why I'm all for protest because we can see the change protesting has brought. It's passed so many laws, it's led to them being convicted as well. And that's why I'm all for change and all for
mm,
us protesting for change as well, especially in the UK as well. So it's so important, like reaching out to your local MP saying, hey, like I'm not really like sure where we stand with the Black Lives Matters. Like what kind of change are you going to bring to make sure my people are more included in the work you're doing? And
mm,
she got a reply from him. Do you know what I mean? And imagine if everyone else is sending their concerns or expressing how they feel, it will show more of a demand. Do you know what I'm saying? So really making sure we're not just vocal on the TL. Do you know what I'm saying? Like don't just
mm,
tweet about it. Really, really make change. Like really send emails, sign petitions. Do you know what I mean? Go to
mm,
protests if you can't. Like if you can. Like obviously, it's a bit sad that we have coronavirus and a whole lockdown going on. But it's so
mm,
important to be part of change and to be active as well, not just tweeting about it or posting Instagram black tiles. Do you know what I'm saying?
I agree. I agree. Just like put your money where your mouth is. If you're really about it, then fam, then show us. You know what I'm
And
saying?
commit to it as well. And like we said, like when you commit to something, when you say like, okay, this is kind of what I'm committing to do. This is what I'm for. This is what I'm standing for.
Mm,
Everything you kind of do is for the betterment of your community. So I do feel like once everyone's kind of committed to this change and whatever it takes for us to kind of have a more equal and just society, that's when we're really going to see results. And we've already seen some results going on right now. So I'm super proud of our generation and us also being part of that change as well. And hopefully really leads to a more equal and just society, because 400 years of this jazz of do you know what I mean?
I'm tired, fam.
So
I'm tired. Like if everyone thinks I was outspoken before, fam, just just wait, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, just wait. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, bro, when I said that email, just like, I just had enough, man.
yeah, like that's what I mean. Like funny enough, I had a one-to-one with my marketing director like the next day, and just had an honest and open conversation, bro. Like really showing him like, yeah, like when you say diverse, it comes across as you mean male and female or sexual orientation, never really race. And when you say stuff like this, it really gets them thinking. And without even me saying it, like before my company done any statements or anything like that, my marketing director's like, it's kind of simple what we just need to do. We just need to hire more black people. I don't even want to say babe, like we just need to hire more black people. Like there is a clear difference. And with everything that's going on, like when I'm thinking about the new teams and what type of people we're going for, we need more black people. And that's just as real as it gets. And then I'm like, yeah, like this is
definitely it's more nuanced than that. It's not just hiring black people just to fit. Sure. It's hiring black people based off the back of what you even said on merit, because they can actually do a job. Like, fam, I don't want to be hired just because I'm black.
No, for sure.
Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't.
No, definitely. It's more giving them opportunities. For example, like how, like when I say nepotism and when people are coming in through a referral from a friend, how my friend is not in that company, so how is my friend gonna get a referral? Like when you just kind of headhunt or just go through, like you're going through the same circles, especially in the creative circle. So it's opening yourself up to a wider pool of talent. Do you know what I'm saying?
The thing is making the conscious effort to hire young black talented individuals, not just black people. You have to filter it. You have to add a filter.
Of course, and I feel like that's definitely what it is, and understanding more. There's a lot of talent out there, but it's just opening your pool to not just being so close to those who can have access to it. It's understanding there is a lack of access for young black talented people as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's just opening up your pool to it.
But similarly, on the flip side, we need to make the conscious effort to obviously share the knowledge of these experiences and give each other the confidence to step outside the comfort zone and, you know, actually apply and seek these opportunities. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like someone, I can give someone 10 opportunities. Doesn't mean they're gonna step forward for all of them. Do you know what I mean? We need to start building that confidence and you know, the rhetoric of that. We can do anything we want, fam.
Yeah.
If I want to fly, man's flying tomorrow. Do you know what I'm saying? If I want to go and I don't know, you get what I'm saying, innit? Like,
what you're saying, bro. We've got more work to do. We started the work already with us starting a podcast. Like that's what we're kind of committed to. But yeah, man, like this is really like motivated me and really charged me up some more, because it just shows like everything we were doing before, like there's more power to it now. We're able to amplify it because there's more voices, more people want to be part of this kind of journey to really push in a better society and better community for us as well, man. So I'm all for it. I'm all for the protesting, and I really hope we get some real change out of this, because it's got to be better for our kids, for our kids, and those to follow as well. Do you know what I'm saying?
Word.
Yeah, man. So quickly, just to round it up, I want to shout out some amazing black businesses. Like, no one can be offended if I don't list out your name, because there's actually too many. But I feel like we're gonna, and these are the kind of people who we're bringing onto the podcast as well to share their stories, and hopefully we just keep on sharing them on our pages and platform as well. But yeah, shout out to Sumo Snacks. They were one of our first guests on the podcast. I recently just see that they got added to Sainsbury's as well, so big up them for that. Shout out to Patterns Clothing, got their cap on. Snow, Daily Paper, Quanda, like I said earlier on. 2020 change as well. They gave me my biggest opportunity to date. The Advantage Group, that's a mentoring group where we mentor younger kids, really giving them more opportunities and more information as well. Grow Daily, Rap City, Flossy Eyewear, Gym Busy, Women's Wear, Dammy Howe, Tobe Footwear, Goodman Factory, Ten Toes, My Carib Kitchen, Upper Echelon, Galdem, Guap, Black Girls Fest. So many names to list, but big up all these amazing black businesses. We hope you guys check them out, follow them, help them in their journey as well, and really let's all come together to really make this world like a better place, more equal, more just for everyone. Word.
No, that's lit, man. That's the thing. I just think we just need to just make the conscious effort to just support each other, uplift each other, share knowledge, share ideas. Do you know what I'm saying? And if you see a black business, like, even if you don't necessarily want to support them, even though we should, a repost is free. It doesn't cost you a penny.
Yeah, repost doesn't cost anything.
Doesn't cost.
Or a retweet either. It doesn't cost anything.
And the thing is, that could be the difference. A repost could potentially be the difference between a company or a business, or a small black-owned business earning £500 to £1,000. I think that repost could get them to that £1,000 threshold.
We all have a platform. We all have an audience. We all have followers who don't know what we know. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you're to add them to your timeline, it could bring so much great opportunities as well. So it's just really a lot of people just need to stop holding back. Do you know what I mean? Not really care too much. Like, just a retweet, a repost. If you see something nice, or if you see something that you feel someone else might benefit from, even if it's not yourself, just add the like, add a retweet. It doesn't really cost nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Knowledge sharing is so key. Like, my mum has always told me, money comes and goes, materials come and go, but knowledge is power. Once that stuff's in your head, it can't be extracted out. Knowledge is power. So let's start sharing knowledge and sharing tips.
Yeah, man.
That will go a long way. Like, as in, for example, there's stuff that, like, my my great grandma has told her daughter, and obviously that's filtered through the generations down to from my mum to me. Do you know what I'm saying? So you need to just keep sharing knowledge and just sharing tips, man, because it will go a long way, and it will definitely bolster, like, us just building like a tighter black community, which is going to be sustained for many generations. You know what I'm saying?
100%. And there's so many mediums out there. You can start a podcast like us. You could tweet it. You could blog it. You could just record yourself. You can just add it to your story on Snap or whatever. So yeah, like, we need to really push that narrative that there's so much abundance out there in the world, and there's no reason for you to hold on to information, especially once you get to a place where others are aspiring to be. And even though you might not think you're at that place, like us starting a podcast, us telling other people how to build a podcast and stuff like that, do you know what I mean? There is kind of a lot of value we can all bring individually as well.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. You know how we go. It's the same pattern all the time. So what's your word of the week?
So I don't really have a word of the week. I have a phrase, and my phrase is stand guard at the door of your mind. So kind of just saying that there's so much going on in the world right now, so much information out there, so many things happening. We just got to make sure that we are really protecting our mental health and what we're letting in. So just making sure that this new week to go, that we're really conscious about what type of information we're feeding, whether that means coming off social media for a day or for some time during the day. We're just standing guard at the door of our mind. So do you know what I mean? You don't let any kind of negativity or any kind of thing that will take away from your peace in. So yeah, that's my word of the week.
There you have it, man. Thank you for listening, guys. Obviously, it's a slightly different episode than to what you lot are used to, but I definitely think these are conversations that need to be had. Sorry, so like we definitely appreciate tuning in, because like this is our reality.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure. For sure. Yeah. So we thank you guys for always tuning in, for listening. Like we said, share information. So share this podcast with your friends if you get any value from it. Let others know where you're kind of learning things from, if you're learning anything from us. And as always, subscribe, like, share. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube. So check us out.
So we're only an email away, we're only a DM away. You know what I'm saying? Friendly guys, so just hit us up, man.
Word. So thank you for listening, guys. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Stand guard at the door of your mind. Remember to focus on things that move the needle. And we'll see you next time.
Wow.